Hi everybody, welcome to my Suburban Oasis. So today's Labor Day and I've got a number of big and small projects around the yard that I'm going to be partaking in. And I thought that today I would show you a plant haul because many of these are going to hopefully get in the ground today. So I've got a lot of great plants to show you, lots of perennials. Okay, my name's Soleil and I garden in a zone 5B in Michigan, and if you're enjoying my channel so far, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, even hit the notification bell to get notified anytime a new video comes out. So I have already planted a few plants and I'll show you those first and then we'll take a look at the ones that I have around me. So right here we have a lovely sweet potato vine, and just take a look at this beautiful flower that's blooming on it. I love it. And this has a really nice fall color to it, and it contrasts really well with all of the foliage that is in here. And then I have a couple of white mums that we planted about a week ago. And over here I have some purple fountain grass. This purple fountain grass was half off. This is an annual. It has really beautiful color to it and fluffy ends that are going to be coming out. So I just tucked that in here. And then I also have a Rudbeckia right at the base of it. So very fall-like. This one was a clearance plant, so you can see it's a little bit crispy around the edges, but we'll see how this one rehabilitates. It was definitely way overwatered. Now in the back here, I have tucked in this Pentacetum grass. This one I actually got at Costco. Right now they have a number of different hydrangeas, grasses, arborvitaes, bulbs. They have a number of different things if you want to check them out. But this one is very soft and fairly tall, and so I tucked this one back behind my main planter here. So everything's just getting a little bit more fall-like. Now because it's fall, one of my favorite things to plant in fall is mums, and so I got a whole tray of these. These are the same ones that I got last time from Lowe's. They are 4 for $5, and they are in these cute little tiny pots, so they're really easy to tuck into planters or in between perennials in the ground. And these chrysanthemums will bloom next year. They'll come back if you get them planted, and they root in well. Sometimes if you don't plant them early enough, like if you put them into a planter and then you plant them in the ground, they may not take over the winter. And then for $2 each, I got some of these Coleus, which are very much a fall color. And these are the Broad Street version. These are an annual, but I thought for $2 I just couldn't pass up the deal on them, and I grabbed a couple of them to be able to plant. Next, I got another clearance plant. This one is a perennial. This one looks awful because it was on clearance. This one is the Fall in Love Sweetly. This is an anemone, and it belongs in full sun or part sun. This one was also severely overwatered, so we'll see if we can bring it back. I've put it in a terracotta pot with some fresh potting soil. This one's supposed to get 20 to 25 inches tall, and it will be hardy from zones 4 to 8. So this is a really excellent plant for the sun. I have had an anemone before, and it has been fairly aggressive, almost to the point of being invasive and having to get it out. So I'm a little bit hesitant in planting this one into the ground. So I'm going to decide whether I want to overwinter it or if I want to put it into a bed where I know I can just kind of track the progress of it and keep an eye on it. Now, I don't think Proven Winners is going to sell us something that is invasive, so my guess is this one's just fine. But again, I just want to trial it in my garden and see how it does. And we will show you the tags at the end of the video, but this one has some very pretty pink flowers. Another plant that I got that's by Proven Winners as well is this Heuchera. Now this one was not on clearance. This is the Primo Black Pearl, and this is a perennial as well. This one can go in sun or shade. And this actually won the Perennial of the Year one year. and I think it's fairly new, so maybe it was this year. This one grows 8 to 10 inches tall, so it's a smaller height, but it's really gorgeous. Just look at the deep, rich color on that. This is a Coral Bells, and it's hardy from zones 4 to 9. And let's see if there's anything else on here that I should let you know about. It has blooms as well. Most Heucheras do, and they're very small. But I actually really like them, and so do the pollinators. Okay, next up we've got some wonderful shade plants to share. Now these are a ground cover. I talked about these a little bit in my ground cover video. These are Liriope, and this is the kind that is not variegated. These were actually grown right here in Michigan. We have a lot of nurseries in Michigan here, and these will have a nice little bloom on them this fall, and they do fill in pretty well. They're nice as an edger plant. They are good in sun or shade. They're about 12 inches tall, and let's see, they're hardy to -20, so they are a zone 5 hardiness. These also do well in much hotter climates than Michigan. All right, next up we have a bunch of shade plants. So this is a fern that I have not grown before. It is called the Tassel Fern, and this gets 12 to 24 inches tall and 12 to 24 inches wide. So it will probably get a bit bigger than this. This one says it's hardy down to -10, so that would be like a zone 6. So I'm not sure if it will overwinter really well here or not. If I have it in a protected area, it might. I'm gonna give it a shot because it wasn't that expensive. And I got this one at my local nursery. Local nurseries definitely have a lot more options than some of the big box stores. And again, this one is definitely a shade plant. Next up, I have a lungwort here. This lungwort is called Diana Clare, and it actually doesn't look a whole lot like what it does on the label, but this is good for shade to part shade, and it blooms in spring to early summer, and they have really pretty like blue or pink flowers. So I'm going to show that to you. And this one looks a little bit worse for the wear right now, but I think I got this one for like $8, so that's really not a bad deal at all. It was about 20% off at my local nursery. And this one is hardy down to zone 3, so it's really hardy for those of you who grow in a colder zone than me, and it goes up to zone 9. And it does like part shade, it likes a little bit of sun. And it's a really beautiful, almost evergreen type of ground cover or perennial plant. I think that in this one, I probably will be able to divide it into 2 or 3 different plants. So that makes me happy because then I can kind of cover an area as opposed to having just one specimen. All right, next up I have 2 of these fragrant blue hostas. These are simply gorgeous. And these are $3.99 again at my local nursery for a little, let's see, what is this? This is a 1.93 pint. So I think this is a maybe 4 or 5 inch pot. And these can be in partial shade to shade, and they grow to 20 inches tall or 36 inches wide, so a bit wider than tall. But that's a really lovely height. It's kind of a mid-size hosta, and it's hardy from zone 3 to 9. And what I like about these is that they adapt well to either dry or moist conditions, and I'm really looking forward to having more blue. The other thing that I like about this one is it has fragrant flowers. Okay, you don't find really beautiful flowers on hostas. The pollinators do like them, but I only have a couple that have fragrant flowers on them. And this one I smelled on one of them that was blooming at the nursery, and it just smelled lovely. So I'm excited about that. Anytime I can add a little more fragrance to the garden, it makes me happy. All right, next up is another perennial. This one did not have a tag, but I know this is a Jacob's Ladder. I do not have this in my garden. I am planning to put this hopefully in the way back garden that I have. I think that it is deer resistant. I don't have, again, a lot of information on this one. It's pretty hardy. I know it's hardy in my zone, and this is a variegated form. This one was also bought at my local nursery, and I think it was a decent deal. It does look a little bit tattered, but it's the end of the season, and it was the only one that they had left. Next up is another blue hosta. This one you may know. This one's been around for a really long time. This is Halcyon. Halcyon is another blue hosta. And you can see this one's putting up a little bloomscape. This one is a little bit smaller than the other blue. This is 18 to 24 inches tall, so it could be the same size as the fragrant blue hosta or not. And again, they adapt to the dry or moist conditions. Many of the ones that are bigger take longer to actually get to their full size, but I think these are going to be pretty. Again, another blue color for the garden. And then I got another hosta here. This one I only got one of. I haven't grown this one before. This one's called Rainforest Surprise, and it's really golden, which I like because that does light up shade areas really well. This one's hardy in zones 3 to 8, and it actually gets only 8 to 12 inches tall. So this one would be a really good edging hosta. So I'm excited to see how well this one grows, if it's vigorous or not. This one did win Hosta of the Year at one point. I don't know what year. So I'm assuming it will be a very good grower. And then I got two of these Pilgrim Hostas, which are a little different. They have some blue on the inside. It's a blue-green with a white rim on the edge. And they are a little bit curly, not too curly. They will get quite a bit bigger. These will be 12 to 15 inches tall. So all of these will just kind of be different heights, right? So I have a really small one, then this one, and then the Halcyon, and then the fragrant blue. And all of them have similar growing needs. These are hardy in zones 3 to 9. So yeah, I'm super excited about these because of that new area that I'm working on where I cut back the lilacs. I'm going to try to incorporate some of these into that area. Well, thanks for joining me for this plant haul video today. It's short and sweet, but I definitely got a ton of plants that I'm excited to get into the ground today. So I'll be looking forward to showing you what they look like after I get them planted. Stay tuned for the plant tags, as we'll show you each one of the plants individually so that you can get more information about each one. Thanks for joining me again today. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye!